Wow, is it good afternoon yet? Yes, it is. Wow, good afternoon, my lovely naked lovelies. I just wanted to come on board because I felt really compelled to share with you some thoughts and feelings and what I would love to do over the next few days, weeks and months. And that is to help us all in the best way I possibly can. We've got a beautiful group of women here. I'm actually getting requests to see whether we could open the group up to men as well, because one thing I would really love to do is educate us more on how we can help ourselves navigate ourselves through what is turning out to be a really traumatic time for a lot of people. Now, I'm in a very blessed position myself where I have done a lot of work over the last few years particularly, and I'm in a strong place. I understand what's going on in myself as best I can in the wider world, and I'm getting a myriad of requests and questions every single day as to how do I deal with what's going on in the world outside, how do I keep myself sane and strong when I have everybody at home? And you can imagine the type of questions that I've been getting. And I came across a really beautiful quote, which I've just put in the top of this post earlier, by Lucille Ball, who was an American actress and comedian at the beginning of the 1900s. And if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up or a love, just so I know that you're out there. So this quote is: self-love is a healing force for recovery from emotional and physical wounds. The more you love yourself, the more you will be healed from the devastating damage to your mind, soul and body caused by emotional abuse. Here's the key thing: caring for yourself, cherishing yourself, and treating yourself with tenderness. The countless ways in which self-love is expressed will contribute to your positive feelings about yourself, which will in turn help raise your self-esteem. So the one thing that I have learnt and continually remind myself of every single day with the rituals that I have and the work that I do is the necessity for self-love. Now, I'm not just talking about lying in a bath with a glass of wine or reading a book for 20 minutes or taking a walk in nature. There is so much more to self-love, and that's what I would love to explore with some of my girlfriends in this group. We've got a really great group of women here that will be able to really help us understand and educate from lots of different perspectives about how to care for yourself and how to keep yourself sane, I think, and strong, particularly in these really challenging times. One thing that I am noticing over and over again is that people are feeling considerably confused. They're feeling a whole load of emotions going on within them because of what's happening outside and because our routines have been forced to change. Now, it's really lovely to see some of you having, at the moment and in this moment, and adjusting to what we are being forced, the way we're being forced to live our lives. There is some really great positive feedback out there that some of us are really adjusting to this at the moment quite well. We're using the time to be out in nature, the sun is shining, we're using the time to connect with our loved ones as best we can. But I am also experiencing in the conversations that I'm having that some of you are really struggling. You're perhaps in relationships that aren't working right now. You perhaps have children that are young and that don't understand what's going on right now. Some of you have children particularly with special needs, or maybe elderly parents that you aren't able to get to. We're being pulled in all sorts of different ways, and here's my observation: whatever is happening in the outside world right now, is going to bring up in you your shit, your stuff. It's really going to bring up the things that you need to work on, what we all need to work on. Let me say we. What's happening in the world out there is bringing up in us what we so desperately need to work on within ourselves. And this is why when I came across this quote earlier with I used this quote when I was doing some work with the DASH charity, the domestic abuse charity, probably 4 or 5 years ago now. I was just going through some of my old files and I was reminded of this quote. It's truly powerful in its own right, and that self-care is essential at this time to keep ourselves strong. The flip side of self-care is self-loathing, and it would be very easy for us, and you would be forgiven if you were in a place of self-loathing right now, and that is totally okay. The self-loathing comes from, in my opinion and my experience, the self-loathing comes from a misunderstanding and just not recognizing that the limited emotions and the limiting emotions I feel, the negative emotions I feel, whatever I am being triggered to feel is going to activate my self-loathing and all of my stories, my shitty stories that I believe to be true about myself. Some of the things I'm having people saying to me is I'm not good enough. I can't believe how angry I feel. I'm unable to focus. I'm running around like a headless chicken and not getting anything done. Some people are even saying to me, I can't believe that I am vegging and just sitting around doing nothing like I've never done before. It's really bringing up the worst in us. So my goal and my wish over the next few days and weeks and months is to educate us all into how we can help ourselves better, why it's not easy to be able to just snap out of it. Why do we feel that however much when we're being forced into a corner effectively, to live our lives in a very different way, why we are resisting that, if you're resisting that, why we resist that. And also perhaps why are we perhaps really grateful for the times that we're finding ourselves in, and actually is it much needed? Is this something that you have needed to help you slow down and to bring you closer together with your family members? Equally, there are very many people out there who are actually living on their own. So they are not going to have that communication and that connection with other loved ones. I'm blessed. I have my husband and 2 children that I live with. But I do have friends that live alone. And this is the only connection that they have is online. It's easy for us to love ourselves when things are going well. It's easy to see the brighter side of things. It's easy to look in the mirror and appreciate what you see. It's easy to go out for a walk in nature. It's easy to perhaps not react if other loved ones are giving you a hard time or snapping or unable to deal with what's coming up for them. It's easy to do all of those things when things are going well and we feel great. However, it is not so easy to do that when it's all turning to crap and it's all going tits up. So I would love to be able to help us better understand how we are stuck in a rut and how we are able to help ourselves more. One of the things that I have been doing more so, and I've been doing it for years anyway, but one of the things I'm doing more so is I'm journaling. I write down every single day as best I can, whether it's just a few sentences or whether I find that I just need to scribble. But I find by journaling and writing down my thoughts and feelings and what's coming up for me is absolutely paramount, because it's easy to remember when you're feeling good. You think, oh, I'm going to remember this, but then when you feel crap, you don't remember it. And then equally, when you feel crap, it's really difficult to remember how it feels to feel good. So by journaling, couple of things. First of all, you can when you write down when things are going well for you, you're able to revisit that when things are not going quite so well. The interesting thing though about journaling is when things aren't going quite so well and you are writing down what's on top. I mean, there doesn't have to be any order to it. It doesn't have to be neat. It doesn't even have to make sense. And that was one of the things that when I started journaling, I just really struggled because I didn't know what to write. I didn't know what order to put it in. It doesn't matter. Just brain dump it. The beauty of journaling when you're feeling crappy and stressed and under pressure or overwhelmed or whatever it might be, anything other than lovely, when you journal in that place, you are able to get out what's on top, and then as a result you are able then to look at what is on the surface for you that you possibly have been ignoring in all your busyness and in all your stress and all your charging around to the next thing. Once you write down what's on top and you can start to see the place where you have been living in survival and in that stress place and all the negative things, the thoughts you have, the feelings you have, the actions you've been taking, once you write all that down, that's then when you can deal with it. And that's then what I want us to help us do over the next few coming days, weeks and months. So I'm going to leave it there, but I just wanted to pop on and say that I'm going to be bringing you some more people to share their experience of how we can best help ourselves. But in this place, I just want to leave you with, well, the bit that I've highlighted on that quote is caring for yourself, cherish yourself and treat yourself with tenderness. You know, to cherish yourself and treat yourself with the kind of tenderness you would a child. If you had a child that needed you at this time, how would you be with them? And my question to you is, can you be that for yourself? This world is changing in a really big way. My other question to you is, are you changing? Because it is absolutely necessary for us to transform and to elevate and to free ourselves from these limited emotions, these limiting, shitty, horrible feeling emotions that you are feeling right now, that the outside world is triggering in you. These are the things that need to be dealt with for you to feel so much better about yourself and for you to feel healed, and so you can feel that you can love yourself again. God bless you. I look forward to catching up with you soon. Please, any questions, any thoughts, pop them in the comments below, message me. Let's see how we can all help each other educate ourselves better so we are able to navigate ourselves through this together, stronger and better. God bless you.